Hello students, today we are going to discuss about the acids, bases and salts, that is the chapter number 2 in the chemistry. In this chapter we are going to discuss in detail about the chemical properties of the acids, bases and salts. Now students, you have already learned in your previous classes that the sour taste is due to the presence of the acid and the bitter taste of the food are due to the presence of the bases. But now here we will have a quick review about the physical properties of the acids and the bases which we have already learned in the previous classes. Firstly, acid is a chemical substance that has a sour taste. Second property of the acid is that it turns the blue litmus paper to the red. And the third is when acid dissolves in the water, they releases the H plus ions. Example, vinegar, hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acids are few of the names of the acids. Bases are the chemical substances that has a bitter taste and when you touch them you feels like a soapy. Base turns the red litmus to the blue. When base dissolves in the water, they release the OH negative ions and are known as the alkalis. For example, sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide are few examples of the bases. Now students, you have already know that the acids are sour in taste and change the color of blue litmus to the red, whereas the bases are bitter and change the color of red litmus to the blue. But how we can indicate it? Because many of the acids or the bases we cannot taste it because it is very dangerous. But then how we can indicate that? That in those conditions these are known as the indicators. Indicators, these are the substances which tells us that whether a substance is acidic or basic by change in color. That means without tasting also we can find out which substance is acidic in nature or which substance are basic in nature. So there are mainly three types of the indicator. These are the natural indicators, synthetic indicators and the olfactory indicators. Now the natural indicators, these are the indicators which obtain from the natural resources. For example, if we take the litmus solution, that is which is extracted from the lichen plant, it is basically a purple in color and it is commonly used as an indicator, that is as a natural indicator. When this litmus solution is neither acidic or nor basic, its colors is purple only. There are many other natural materials are also like the red cabbage, turmeric, colored petals of the some flowers, that is the China rose, which can be used as the natural indicator. They indicate the presence of the acid or the base in a solution. These are called the acid-base indicators, or sometimes simply we will say the indicators. Now students, have you noticed that a stain of a curry on a white cloth becomes reddish brown when soap, which is basic in nature, is scrubbed on it? Because it turns the yellow again when the cloth is washed with the plenty of the water. So that means it indicates that the soaps are the basic in nature. Yes, the stain of the haldi or the turmeric will remain yellow when there is acid, and when the soap is added to that, because it is basic in nature, that's why it turns the yellow to the reddish brown in color. Now students, let us discuss about the other two indicators, that is the synthetic indicators and the olfactory indicators. Synthetic indicators, these are the indicators that are synthesized in the laboratories and they are known as the synthetic indicators. For example, phenolphthalein, methyl orange. These are the basic two synthetic indicators. Phenolphthalein is a colorless liquid. It remains colorless with acid but turns into a pink with a base. That means if the acid substance is added to the phenolphthalein solution, it will remain the colorless. But when the base will be added to the phenolphthalein, it will turn into the pink. Now the methyl orange is generally orange in color. It turns into red with acid and it turns into yellow with base. Now the olfactory indicators. These are the substances which change their smell when mixed with the acid or the base. For example, onion, vanilla, clove, etc. These are some of the naturally occurring olfactory indicators. Onion paste or the juice of the onion loses its smell when added with the base. It doesn't change its smell with the acid. Vanilla, the smell of vanilla vanishes with the base, but its smell does not vanishes with an acid. So this is about the indicators. Now students, let us discuss how the acids and the bases react with the metals. Now first is acids reacting with the metals. When the acids react with the active metals, they form the metal salts and give out the hydrogen gas. That is the acid plus the active metal, they gives us the salt and the hydrogen. For example, hydrochloric acid reacting with the magnesium, it will give us the magnesium chloride. Similarly, when the zinc is reacting with the hydrosulfuric acid, it gives us the zinc sulfate plus the hydrogen gas. Now, this hydrogen gas can be tested by bringing the burning candle near the gas bubbles. It will burst with the pop sound. So, the producing of the pop sound, it confirms that the hydrogen gas is released. So, when the acid is reacting with the metals, they gives us the salt and the hydrogen. Similarly is with the base also. When the base is reacting with the metals, again they will gives us the salt and the hydrogen. Base like the sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, when they react with the metal, that is for example the sodium hydroxide reacting with the active metal, that is the zinc, it will gives us the sodium zincate and the hydrogen. Here the one rule is followed, that is a more reactive metal displaces the less reactive metals from its base. Now students, let us discuss how the acids and bases react with each other. When an acid reacts with a base, it forms the salt and the water. As a result, the acidic properties of the acid disappear. This process is called the neutralization. For example, as you can see, the hydraulic acid is reacting with the sodium hydroxide, or we can say the caustic soda, which is a base, to form the sodium chloride, which is salt, and the water. We call this type of the reaction as the neutralization. Therefore, while we are suffering from the acidity, it is prescribed to take the antacid, which are bitter in taste. That is, they are the base, and on entering the body, they neutralize the acid effect and convert into salt and water. So, in short, when an acid and the base react with each other, they form the salt and the water, and this type of the reaction is called as the neutralization reaction. Students, let us discuss the reaction with the metal carbonates or the metal hydrogen carbonates with the acids. Acids reacts with the metal carbonates and the bicarbonates to give out the carbon dioxide with effervescence and forming the corresponding salt and the water. For example, as you can see the reaction between the sodium carbonate and the hydrochloric acid, which gives us the corresponding salt, that is the sodium chloride plus carbon dioxide and the water. Similarly, when the sodium hydrogen carbonate is reacting with the hydrochloric acid, again it will give us the NaCl, that is the sodium chloride, the carbon dioxide and the water. Now the carbon dioxide formed, it can be tested by passing this carbon dioxide through the lime water. When the carbon dioxide is passed through the lime water, it turns the lime water milky, thus forming the calcium carbonate. When the excess of the carbon dioxide is passed, the milkiness of the lime water will be disappear. Now students, let us discuss the reaction of the metal or metallic oxides with the acid. Now metallic oxides are basic in nature. So this is the reaction of the acids with the bases only. In the previous slides we have already discussed that when the acids and the bases are reacting with each other, they form the salts. So in this also, when the metallic oxides are reacting with the acid, they form the salt plus the water. So metal oxides like the quicklime, that is the calcium oxide, copper oxide, magnesium oxide, these all are the metallic oxides. They react with the acids to form the salt and the water. This is also a neutralization reaction. That means the metallic oxides are the basics in nature. That's why these type of the reactions are also called as the neutralization reaction. Now let us discuss the reactions of the non-metallic oxides with the base. Now here it is the opposite, that the non-metallic oxides are the acidic in nature. So here again the acids and the bases are reacting with each other. So in this type also, that is, it is called as the neutralization reaction, and non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. Non-metallic oxides are the carbon dioxide, as the carbon is the non-metal and it is the carbon dioxide. Base is the calcium hydroxide, CaOH whole twice. It gives us the corresponding salt, that is the calcium carbonate, and the hydrogen oxide, that is the H2O. Now students, we have seen that the acids possess a number of the common characteristics properties. This shows that chemically they must be having something in common. We have also observed that all the acids contains the hydrogen, which they liberate when they react with the active metals. Now the another important characteristics is that the acid in their solution in the water conducts the electricity. Now students, the conduction of the electricity through a solution of a substance can take place only if ions are present in the solution. This shows that the acids, when dissolved in the water, produce the hydrogen ions. These hydrogen ions do not exist as such in the solution. That means these hydrogen ions cannot exist alone in the solution. They combine with the water molecules and exist as the hydronium ions. Now, hydrogen ions can combine with the number of the water molecules in the solutions. Now, we can define the acids are the substances which contains the hydrogen and which when dissociate or which when dissolved in the water give the hydrogen ions in the solution. Now students, like acids, bases also possesses some general characteristics properties. So chemically they must have the something in the common. It is also observed that bases, when dissolved in the water, they produce the hydroxide ions in the solution. Thus, this is the common characteristics property of all the bases. So, base can be defined as a base is a substance which when dissolved in the water gives the hydroxide ions in the solution. Just as the properties of the acids are due to the hydrogen ions when they gave in the aqueous solution, properties of the bases are also due to the hydroxide ions which they give in the aqueous solution. So now the bases which are soluble in the water, they are called the alkalis. Now students, let us discuss what happens to an acid or a base in a water solution. When the acid or the base is mixed with the water, it results in decrease in the concentration of the hydronium ions or the hydroxide ions per unit volume. That means the hydrogen ions of the acid and the hydroxide ions of the base, they decrease. Such a process is called the dilution, and the acid or the base is said to be the diluted. While diluting the acids, it is recommended that the acid should be added to the water. But water should not be added to the acid, because the process of dissolving a acid or a base in water is highly exothermic. That means large amount of the heat is produced. If the water is added to a concentrated acid, the heat generated may cause the mixture to splash out and causes the burn. So the safety measure should be taken in the consideration. We should always add the acid to the water, but the water should not be added to the acid.